Good evening and welcome to Talking Points. I'm Max Darrow. Tonight's top story is stormwater management in Syracuse. Every year, the area gets about 38 inches of rain and more than 100 inches of snow. But is our infrastructure equipped to handle it? Talking Points correspondent Molly Smith tells us that stormwater management is becoming of increasing importance to local politicians.
It's a problem that dates back more than 20 years. For decades, excess stormwater has flooded the Syracuse sewage system, backing into what had once been known as the most polluted lake in America, Onondaga Lake. While the lake pollution prompted the county's Save the Rain initiative, little has been done in the meantime to combat stormwater runoff. Now, county officials have asked the Syracuse Common Council to take the next step in the process by setting firm guidelines for property developers to adhere to in new construction.
And joining us now is the Councilor at the forefront of this effort, Councilor Kathleen. Councilor, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, just before we get this conversation started, where does this runoff go? Give me a little bit of background.
Well, with our aging infrastructure, most of the rainwater, and today is a very good example of that, it's been raining, and where does all that water go? It goes into our combined sewer and rainwater overflow, and eventually goes into our sewer system, into the sewage treatment plant, and into Onondaga Lake. We're trying to stop that.
So by trying to stop it, what are you proposing? What's the plan of action?
Well, if there's new development that it would create a large disruption in the soil, if there's a new building, if there's a new parking lot, we're going to ask the builders to divert that rainwater into something else. Maybe they could put in a rain garden. Maybe they could put in a bioswale. Maybe they could not connect it into the old sewer system. Those are the kinds of things that we're asking be done.
So there's got to be a lot of responses. How are developers and even the mayor responding?
Well, we've got three different points of view, and we're trying to take all of that into consideration. One is the environmental issue about polluting Onondaga Lake and trying to prevent that from happening, because even though it's kind of yucky to say, what happens is the sewer gets overflowed and goes into Onondaga Lake. Well, we don't want to have that happen. We're spending much too much effort and energy into saving Onondaga Lake, so we don't want to continue to pollute it in that way. So we have the environmental perspective. We also have some developers who say it's going to cost us too much money. Well, really it's not. What we're trying to do is to spread out the cost of this infrastructure improvement across the board, not just to sewage ratepayers, but to the developers too. And then we have our municipal officers who say, I don't want to make this too burdensome. I don't want to have too many permits, too much oversight, because we do want to have economic development. So it's a balance.
So where does this issue then stand just among the councils?
Well, we have a piece of legislation that's been introduced. We've had a couple of meetings, public meetings, to hear what people have to say. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock at City Hall, we're going to have a working meeting where we can roll up our sleeves, sharpen our pencils, and really get to the language in the document to come up with something that was workable for all three of those different perspectives.
Well, Councilor Joy, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Best of luck with your initiative.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.